Good day, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. This is your Prince Altres Cabrera De Dios of Philippines Recaneli Mother International Foundation, the voice for global solutions on poverty incorporated. In cooperation with Project Galileo, right here with me is our group chairman, Mr. Christopher Crutcher, and we are going to discuss a lot of things about the social awareness campaign. But before we proceed, we start this episode 4. I would like to invite everyone to watch this after our video, the Prince Altres Cabrera De Dios and Mr. Christopher Crutcher Success Journey number 20. So today is October 4, 2020, and welcome to our episode 4 of the so-called social awareness campaign. And good afternoon, Mr. Christopher Crutcher. Go ahead and kindly give them the inspiration so that the Filipino people and the whole world we really know what's going on with the social campaign awareness.
All right. Well, thank you, Prince Altres.
You're welcome.
This is a good opportunity to sort of explain to people what is a social awareness campaign. And a lot of people don't know what that is. It's very new. And in 2008 is when, for instance, cryptocurrency was invented with the Bitcoin, and really the whole fintech boom began over the last 10 years. And there is now something new called the Social Awareness Campaign.
Okay.
And social awareness campaigns are put out usually in some association with the cryptocurrency, but sometimes just to market other products. Mm-hmm. And they typically consist of an educational package which teaches the readers some skills, such as how to trade your own cryptocurrency, Ethereum or any blockchain-based cryptocurrency. How do you buy it and sell it, and what are good trading techniques?
All right.
There's all kinds of social awareness campaigns just beginning in the last few years. And so, what I've found is that they don't deliver enough information, really, in my view, to justify the $100 or euros that they generally cost. And yet they have really thousands and thousands of subscribers, so that social awareness campaigns can raise between $5 and $20 million. There's really no limit. Mm-hmm. And what they do is they create a large group of end users, mm-hmm. who then are, the assumption is that they will then purchase the products and services of whatever company has put out the campaign. And the cost of this in pesos is usually about 5,600 pesos, for instance.
Wow.
So typically these would be sold in countries in Europe and United States, Canada. So social awareness campaigns are now something very successful, something that people get excited about, and they market to their own family members and many others. And usually there's some benefit to marketing the campaign. All right. Well, I was thinking about, for Project Galileo, what could we do to really kind of get the word out and pave the way for the project to arrive in the Philippines and numerous other countries like Brazil and Costa Rica and many other places where we have signed contracts for land or otherwise interacted with the government. Italy is very hot recently, whereby the Project Galileo, we're discussing with the government a large fund from the European Union that they would like to invest in southern Italy.
Okay.
So anyway, to get awareness out and to start to really educate people about what is Project Galileo, mm-hmm. I thought this would be an excellent format for us. So we offer, I redesign everything, but I redesigned the social awareness campaign to be really more appropriate for developing countries, lowering the price almost 4 times or whatever, so that we would offer it for 1,200 pesos as an example.
Wow, that's a great news.
down from around 5,600 pesos. So this is the first thing that I'm really looking to countries like Philippines, Brazil, and many developing countries, that we're not here to really grab lots of money from people. We're here to create benefits, where if you put in 1,200 pesos, you have 9 benefits,
Wow.
in fact, that will come to you over about a 2 to 2.5 year period. And
Okay.
that as each of these benefits arrives, it develops sort of a, not only kind of a fan club for Project Galileo, but also indeed it develops a sales force, and which I'll explain later. That's the final item here of 9.
All right.
Number 1, people get an educational package from us. Educational package is a kind of funny and overused word. It's, in our case, it's an ebook which tells you all about the project. It's full of even very proprietary fintech inventions and other things that you haven't heard of. If you read through it, you'll see where Project Galileo has really been involved in innovation within
Okay.
the finance and technology world, or fintech world.
Okay.
So the educational package we have, it's 60 pages.
60 pages.
Right. So it's
All right.
not as big as as a dime store novel, but it's as big as my thesis at Harvard University. Okay. So it's at least that size.
Yes.
And so what it has in it is description of the project, technologies, the history of Project Galileo. It has a 12-year history. So how was the project founded, and what are our principles? What are we trying to do? And then it even has an area which could be looked at as, to some degree, self-help.
Okay.
Because what I wanted to do was, especially for young people,
Self-help.
right, to give them some idea, like if they were going to apply for a job within a city of science, or even to our own organization, or several groups that we have, how to do that, how to present yourself in a professional way, because in many ways, for most people, how would they know?
Yes.
And so this is something that I'm really concerned for young people, that they don't have access to good advice in presenting themselves to organizations like ours, or again, any job or any interview or proposal or sales pitch that they were going to do. When you go out there into the world, what are you wearing? What are you thinking about in your head? What are the signals to watch for when you're having a success, and so forth. So I thought this could be quite interesting and useful. So that's also contained. So the educational package, we marketed for the 1,200 pesos.
Is that the self-help that you were telling the whole world? Is that, how old is the application of that? And let's say until what age that must come to this social awareness campaign?
Right. Well, I'm 56, and even some of my cohorts in the same age group, or cronies, if you will, they could use some of the same tips. To be honest, so I think it's kind of ageless.
All right.
But I think especially we can say for young people that don't have very much experience, they're nervous about a meeting. I'm trying to get them to take control of those circumstances. Take control of the meeting. Get the result that you want. Really think about and focus on what you want to come out of that meeting with. A good example is, as in former positions in sales for securities and for many other items and technologies, I would go into a meeting, and sometimes you don't get a closure. You don't even get even like there's not going to be a next meeting even. But you must get something out of that meeting.
Okay.
Whatever meeting you go to with new people, you don't know them, they don't know you. It's an opportunity. And if you end up where the meeting result or the expectation turns out to be a failure, like you didn't get the sale, you learn why you didn't get that sale.
Okay.
You observe the expressions of the people when you use certain words. You can learn a great deal from that meeting as to why it was not a success. And then when you have your next meeting, you're
You
ready.
get it.
You've got the program down. So anyway, I give this type of ideas and these types of ideas and advice as part of the educational package. So it really is an educational package.
So it's like a self-esteem package as well.
Yes, that's the goal. When somebody subscribes to really to Galileo Rising, which is the name of the social awareness
Yes.
campaign, you subscribe to Galileo Rising, you become a Galilean.
Yes,
Basically.
pretty much.
And being a Galilean is not a club membership, but at the same time, it's a privilege.
Wow,
You're part of something bigger than yourself.
that's good.
And I talk about, on some of our website content, but the website is coming out. It's just a prototype right now, but essentially that you become a change maker.
Okay,
When you become a Galilean, you have access to special information.
special
And
information.
That's right, about things like economic engines to develop your country.
All right.
You'll learn about new technologies you haven't heard of before.
Okay.
And it empowers you to essentially talk to others and to at the same time teach them and learn from them.
Wow.
But to interact with them as a Galilean as part of almost, you could call it like a movement, whereby they're part of something bigger than themselves. That's certainly the way that I feel.
Yeah.
Project Galileo is much bigger than I am, and any of the managers and staff we have. Collectively working together, we've generated something really huge.
Yes.
And now we're inviting the public and certainly everyone in the Philippines to participate.
All right.
All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit more about our benefits.
Sure.
The 1,200 pesos is basically just the cost of the educational package. All other 8 benefits are giveaways.
Wow. That's good.
And I wanted to make them as giveaways because I really wanted to use the marketing of the social awareness campaign as a way to also lift up people.
Yeah.
To give them a lot more than anything that they would have paid for, and to make the payment low enough that it's not a financial burden.
So it's like, Chris, it's like they just pay that, for the reprinting of the next documents for other Galilean. So it's not really payment. It's just like, I think a contribution or something like that. Because it's very low.
Well, the joke is that we went into a copy shop the other day.
Yes.
in Manila, and we printed it. That we printed out the educational package. It cost 2,600 pesos to print it out.
I know that's a lot.
Right. So anyway, we're distributing ebooks, and therefore we can lower the price, and you'll receive it over the internet to your email.
All right. So they have to have an active email.
That's right.
Okay.
And then the other thing is we also, in just a little while, we'll make it available in what we call the back office,
The back
where
office.
you go into your own back office within our ecosystem, and you can download it.
All right.
So that's another way.
Okay.
All right. Well, let me talk about these 8 giveaways that we have, and to let you and everybody else know about them. The first is that we're going to give 12 months of our publication, our monthly publication called The Planet in Focus.
So it's like 1 year.
Right.
Yeah.
And maybe let's say that has a value of 500 pesos, plus or minus, because we price these things often in dollars. But let's say it's worth $5 or $10 or 500 pesos, and so that's an extra. That's a giveaway.
Okay.
And that will put people in touch with many different aspects of the project. We have our poet laureate named James D'Ambrosio, who contributes his poetry
Wow.
to the publication, and they're wonderful poems. And James is an excellent author and multi-talented writer, producer.
So they're gonna get that also from their back office.
Yes.
Or this is the hard
office,
one,
Well, the
the hard
back office
copy.
will contain back issues, but
Okay.
this will come directly to people's email.
Oh, okay.
So every month they'll get the Planet in Focus, and it also has contributions by Judith Crutcher, my
All right.
mother, who's a retired architect, but also has become an expert in sustainable green architecture and also energy production and many other areas. So her contribution to the Planet in Focus is always things like are spaces designed for the public health,
Okay.
or how to create a city that supplies enough oxygen because of its plant mass and plant matter. So they're sometimes technical, but always written in an interesting way. And then I produce an editorial.
All right.
And in the editorials, I certainly give opinions, but Project Galileo is nonpartisan. So
Okay.
we're not appealing to either, we could say, liberal or conservative
It's
audiences.
like a non-religious also.
Yes, that as well. But inside of it, we certainly talk about how things can be done better.
All right.
All of the above groups and whichever political group you can think of are in the business of magnifying problems, and this becomes the platform. Yet how many times have we actually heard a solution from any of them?
Yeah.
And this is extremely frustrating. So anyway, my commitment to the public at large and through this publication is that we're committed to solutions.
All right. That's good.
And Project Galileo contains a lot of solutions.
Awesome.
It's not about problems and things that can't be solved. Actually, none of the problems that I see about either the environment or human living or personal economics, all of that can be solved.
That's true. I agree with you.
We need a new model.
All right.
And Project Galileo is really there for that. So anyway, Planet in Focus, we're going to talk in detail about things like how we address the virus
All right.
and future outbreaks. Does the design of a city of science address that? It absolutely does. We'll talk about sustainable green agriculture and having a long and healthy life, for each of our citizens, and then how they're going to sustain themselves with the advent of AI, robotics, drones, etc. A really important question for everybody's future. Anyway, so I look forward to hearing from our audience always, and who write interesting comments. We also welcome articles from all of the viewing public.
All right.
Even if you're not a Galilean, you can still provide an article to us, and if it's interesting and it's really relevant to Project Galileo, we'll publish it. We don't have the global monopoly on good ideas. We're constantly soliciting them and constantly seeking to incorporate them into this project. So our readers are important, and their feedback is greatly respected.
Okay.
All right, so Planet in Focus, that's that's number 2 benefit. Number 3 benefit is that upon the programming of the GMU, which is called that's the Galileo Monetary Unit.
All right.
The GMU is Project Galileo's digital currency
Digital currency.
for use inside each terrestrial city of 100,000 people, and for use inside the virtual city with eventually millions of end users. This is a currency for a real economy. In other words, it has the ultimate utility of any cryptocurrency I've ever seen. That in fact it's used for all transactions, wages, etc. Now, Akon City is going to use the A-coin
Yes.
in Senegal, Africa, for all transactions inside Akon City. We're going to use the GMU in the same way.
Okay.
And for Project Galileo, all of our cities of science and the virtual city of science use the GMU, and then GMU cents are called Ganymedes. Now, Galileo the first discovery he made was the moon of Jupiter called Ganymede. So that's
why
a tribute
he
to Planet.
named after that.
That's right. It's a tribute to the astronomer that we
Okay.
have Ganymedes as the sense of the GMU. But GMUs are 3-dimensional images of currency. It's a digital currency with a serial number
All right.
that is in fact collectible because it's unique as far as each series that's issued. There are bills of different denominations.
Okay.
One GMU as of today is priced at €1.
Okay.
as an initial pricing. And then GMU cents, of course, are in, Ganymedes are in, 1 Ganymede coins, 5, 10, 25, 50. And then commemorative 1 GMU coins, which will celebrate certain events and certain achievements. So we are going to issue 1,200 pesos worth of Ganymedes, the GNU cents,
All right.
to each Galilean as soon as all of the programming is finished. We estimate approximately 1 year from our financing of
1
the
year.
programming. That's right.
Before they can use that, the
Right.
GMU.
And we can deliver it either to their phone, their laptop, or we might actually send out what we call the Ganymede pouch, which is a memory stick
All right.
that has your 1,200 Ganymedes in it.
Is there any app after this 1 year so that they can actually install it to their smartphone, and then we can give it to the Filipino or the worldwide Galileans?
Yes, we're developing a phone app.
All right,
And
that's good.
It's there's 2 types of phone app. One will just be to receive your Ganymedes, and then you can use those, for instance, in the virtual city of science.
Okay.
And-
Exclusively.
Right, because we don't have physical cities of science yet.
Okay.
And then the other is we're going to develop what's called a virtual safe, where end users, it's like a cloud system, but combined with a place to keep all of your currencies, and you can keep pesos, you can keep dollars, you can keep GMUs, bitcoins, and all of your photos of your children, your birth certificate, digital contracts, the works.
All right.
Eventually, we'll digitize things like property deeds and precious metals, valuable paintings, and many other types of assets that are almost forms of money, and because of their great value. And we'll have a custodian service, and then you can digitize that and put it into your virtual safe.
All right.
And now, when you open up your virtual safe, you'll see all of your assets, everything. There's a lot of people that through their life, they always want to know, how much do I have? And they can never call their banker and get the full span. They're going to have to make about 20 calls to find out how much
And they can
have.
only also have an online banking system with this, right?
Yes, eventually.
Uh-huh.
But this system is initially entirely digital.
Okay.
And so it's not, when you say banking, sometimes people imply or thinking that it's going to make loans, and we're not in the loan business because we're not licensed for that.
All
but
right.
virtual safes are something which are entirely within the law to create.
Okay.
Because it's like a data storage.
That's good.
So the cloud system charges, iCloud, from what I've heard, charges about $20 per month
For a month.
for storing data. And they can charge more if you have a lot of data. And we're interested in the idea that if we'll charge roughly the same for a virtual safe, but it has many more functions and applications. So it's a superior instrument, to the iCloud, because of it's an economic conduit to manage your personal assets and fortune.
Okay.
All right, I will come back to those. So number 3 is you'll get 1,200 pesos worth of our digital currency, and in a sense you can look at it as it's almost like getting your money back.
Yeah, that's true.
You're going to have a credit, and we will transmit that to you. Next is virtual visitor's visa. The virtual city of science will take about 2 years of programming,
2
according
years, all right.
to my experts and IT people. they tell me it's going to take 2 years, Chris. So, all right. Well, when there's going to be a grand opening,
Okay.
and
So
we're going to
launching.
That's right. We're Project Galileo. Working with the foundation, we're going to make this the largest avatar party in the world.
Wow, that's
The
great.
grand opening of the virtual city of science. So in this tremendous party, we expect record attendees, and we're going to have some kind of giveaway to, it'll be in like a raffle, or we'll digitally select those persons who will get giveaways. And the top one is going to be 100,000 GMUs.
Wow, that's a lot.
Which, yeah, that's a substantial number of pesos worth of the digital currency.
100,000 GMU, meaning it's like 100,000 euro.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Right. That's the scale that we're looking at that's the top prize, and then
Okay.
other people will get permanent digital visas, permanent digital citizenships, and also business licenses.
Oh, that's really good actually, and we can accommodate that.